All right, today we are cracking open the black box of modern AI. We're going to lift the hood and see the secret behind these systems that can write with an almost human touch. We're talking about the incredible technology of transformer models.
I mean, you've probably used it, right? Maybe you asked it to help with an email, explain some complicated topic, or even write a bit of code. It feels like magic, but it's not. So what's the engine actually driving this whole revolution? How on earth does a machine learn to communicate like this?
So, to really get what a huge breakthrough this was, we first have to understand the fundamental problem these models are all trying to solve, and honestly, it's a goal that sounds incredibly simple, but is unbelievably complex.
That's it. That's the whole game. At its very core, whether it's writing a Shakespearean sonnet or a piece of Python code, the AI is constantly playing this high-stakes guessing game. Given all the words so far, what is the single most probable word that should come next?
Now, before the AI boom that we're seeing today, we had models like recurrent neural networks, or RNNs, and they were a really important step, but they had a major roadblock. See, they read text one word at a time, in a straight line. And this meant that by the time they got to the end of a long paragraph, they'd often kind of forgotten the crucial context from the beginning. They just couldn't handle those long-range connections that give language its rich meaning.
Yeah, the old way was like trying to understand a whole movie by looking at it through a tiny keyhole, one frame at a time. You just can't get the big picture. But then, in 2017, everything changed. A new architecture came along and just threw out the entire rulebook.
And listen, this wasn't just a small improvement, it was a completely different way of thinking about the problem. Instead of processing text sequentially, word by word, this new model, the transformer, was designed to look at the entire sentence or even the whole paragraph all at once. This one single change unlocked the ability to grasp complex ideas and nuance that was just impossible before.
And this brings us to the secret sauce, the absolute superpower of the transformer, a concept called self-attention. Think of it like this. When you read a sentence, your brain just naturally knows which words relate to which other words. Self-attention lets the model do that, but for every single word simultaneously, creating this incredibly complex web of connections. It figures out, for any given word, which other words in the sentence are the most important to pay attention to.
So, how does this all work under the hood? Well, you can think of it like a four-step recipe. It all starts with that self-attention we just talked about. Then you get multi-head attention, which is like letting the model read the sentence multiple times, each time focusing on something different, like one head looks at grammar, another looks at the overall topic. But wait, if it's looking at everything at once, how does it know the original word order? That's step 3, positional encoding. It's basically like adding little notes to each word saying you were first, you were second, and so on. Finally, these things called feed-forward networks take all that rich information and process it, refining it into a final, coherent understanding.
Okay, so we've got this incredibly powerful architecture, but how does that actually turn into the text we see pop up on our screens? Let's walk through the actual journey, from your prompt to the AI's final response. It all starts with what you type in. The model first breaks your words down into these numerical pieces called tokens. You can think of them as the AI's version of syllables or common word fragments. Then, based on the trillions of examples it's seen in its training, it calculates the odds for what the very next token should be. It picks the most likely one, tacks it onto the end of the sentence, and then it does the whole process all over again, generating the response piece by piece.
Now, this is really important to know. Not all transformers are built to do the same thing. You've got two main flavors. Encoder-based models, like BERT, are designed to understand text. They read it forwards and backwards to get deep context, which is perfect for something like Google search. Then you have decoder-based models, like the ones in the GPT family. They are designed to generate text by predicting that next word. They're the engines behind the chatbots and writing tools that we're all using.
And believe me, this isn't just some fascinating theory in a computer science lab. This technology has absolutely exploded out of the lab and is already reshaping our digital world in ways we're only just beginning to grasp.
Seriously, they are everywhere. From the virtual assistants on our phones to the tools that can summarize a dense document in just a few seconds, they're helping programmers write and fix code, translating languages almost instantly, and generating every kind of content imaginable. The list of applications is just growing bigger every single day.
But, and this is a big but, for all of its power, this technology is far from perfect. It's so important that we also take a clear look at the limitations and the very real challenges that come along with it.
First up, the technical hurdles.
you'll hear the term hallucination, which is a weird word, but it just means the AI confidently makes stuff up that sounds true but isn't. And because these models learn from the vast, messy internet, they can pick up and even amplify all the human biases found in that data. They're also incredibly expensive to create and run. And maybe the most important thing to remember is this: it's not true understanding. It is extremely sophisticated pattern matching, not actual consciousness.
And then, beyond the tech issues, you have even more complex questions for all of us as a society. How do we deal with misinformation when someone can create convincing fake text instantly? What does this mean for honesty in schools and at work? And how do we protect our privacy when there's a risk these models might memorize and spit out sensitive data? These are the really tough conversations that are happening right now.
So, this is where we are. This technology is like a mirror. It reflects our own language, our knowledge, our creativity, but also our flaws right back at us. And as it gets better and better at what was for so long a uniquely human skill, it forces us to ask a really profound question. What does our partnership with these powerful new tools look like? And what is our role in a world we now share with them?